Yo, this is part 2 where we're going to our good friend Richard Dick Whitman into his Twitter account. He's a Bitcoin Maxi. There's going to be some interesting things that he says. We agree with him on Ethereum, though.
We agree with Bitcoin Maxis on a lot of things
except Bitcoin. So he says ETH influencer accounts promoting shit called Deacon, Dank Sharding, and Blobchain. No kidding. Yeah, it is funny. Some of the fucking names of these things. Let's keep going. Laughing my ass off. PSA, stop using MetaMask and also stop equating it with Ethereum UXs already. Personally, like Coinbase wallet as a default wallet. Many also like Rabbi.io. Nobody with a clue likes MetaMask.
I don't know.
It's funny though because it's an ETH Maxi recommending not using MetaMask, but then straight away recommending using Coinbase and Rabbi, which are both KYC.
Yeah, they don't know
like slave chains.
They're fine with centralized infrastructure. They think that the free market's going to rise to the top as if there's a real free market with value transfer. But we know that there's not. Or at least there's a very, very good chance that it's not just going to fix itself. But yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is Dick will probably have the same fucking tweet in 5 years with his centralized Lightning Water node when the fees on Bitcoin are $100 plus.
It really will.
People think that their argument, because they always have to have an argument, will be the free market will rise.
We've got one answer for this tweet, and it's this.
That's you in 5 years. Everyone will be talking about their Lightning Network wallets. Bitcoin Maxis, their favorite ones. And the funny part is none of them will running one themselves.
Oh, this is just the recent crash of Bitcoin here today. This is Trump checking his missus out. It's got to be good being that age and having a missus that looks like that. Because she's beautiful. Good lad, Trumpy. Not that I'm pro-Trump being president, I'm pro-non.
I think it's all Hollywood. I think it's all an act. So I have not like. I don't care. Like it's not whether he's good or bad. I just know it's all an act, and there's gonna be chaos.
Have you seen these hot chicks liking your tweets recently?
I don't know. No, I don't see who.
He says it's amazing how fast they are at this Twitter thing because it's all bots, right? All these guys now, there's all these hot chicks liking everyone's tweets.
Okay.
All these guys are thinking, hot chicks are liking my tweets. Like, no, they're bots. All right, this is what he's famous for. He made this character who's like a typical normie CEO, you know, of like Web 2 and shit and other classical industries.
It's like a Lightning Network worker.
Yeah, it's just like the normie, like shitcoiner, basically, that doesn't understand what's talking about. So Dave Ramsey doesn't. So these quotes are always from this guy, right? Who's this kind of alter ego normie.
The difference is Dave Ramsey and Warren Buffett think Bitcoin's going to go to zero, where we think it's going to go to $1 million.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not good for humanity. That's the problem.
That's the thing. It's not going to bring you freedom. It's going to give you money. The few people that
get
money,
it. But know what you're dealing with. Know what you're fucking dealing
don't walk around. This is my problem with Dick. Is he's walking around saying it's going to be for freedom. You know? It's not.
I don't know. It's kind of like you live in a world and the loudest are heard, and if no one speaks up, no one speaks up. And if you have people going around saying things that aren't true, that are harmful to others, you have to speak up. So I feel the need to fucking speak up. And like it's very unpopular. And I'm going to be going more into what makes censorship resistance rather than attacking specific chains, because it's going to be obvious at that point once you get it through. But you can't go around talking about, you have the answers decentralized, and then you can't practically explain how, when high fees, you're going to self-custody. If you can't self-custody, how is it decentralized? You can't answer that. What is there? You're going to batch UTXOs? How are you going to do that? Who's going to do that?
Do you know what some Bitcoin people have been saying? I've started to hear this rumor that they think the fees are going to stay low. That's what they're betting on. They're betting on the fee, the base layer fee staying low.
So then you'll be able to have fucking Walmart attack the chain. I don't know. Like, what do you mean low fees? What happens when there's no security budget?
But my answer, yeah, exactly. But then my answer to that as well is, why have you built Lightning Network? Not Lightning Network then? What's the reason? If the fees on the base layer are going to stay low, why have you got Lightning?
No, I don't know.
know?
Like maybe I'm missing something here. Let's really explain this. Let's look this out. You have fees, right? And you have block subsidy, inflation. The inflation is going to go to zero, right? And that's what's rewarding the miners right now. Keep in mind, if there was no subsidy right now and they were just relying on the current fees, the network could be attacked by a graham cracker. Like, what are you talking about? Do you understand how proof of work works, right? Do you know who puts the block in? They have to have incentive. They have to have incentive. If you take the incentive away and you say, well, the fees are low.
Just to let you know, you say incentive like a California liberal.
Incentive. Ethereum, I guess. If you don't have that, if you don't have somebody who is earning, you're going to have somebody running it for free, and they'll love to, but they'll KYC your ass, just like Twitter and all of the rest. They'll be happy to harvest your fucking data. It's that simple. Like, there's no in between. High fee, successful security on the base layer, but everyone's forced, the lower class, if you call it, the people who can't afford high fees will be they can't self-custody, right? So they have to buy their censorship resistance for a lot of fucking money. And if you're talking about day-to-day transfers, these people might make a transfer once a year or once a fucking lifetime or never, because they can never afford it. If the fees are low, then you could be attacked by graham cracker people. You could be attacked by anybody. I'll attack it. Why not? It's fucking $50 to attack. What are you talking about if there's no fees? Who's paying these people? And I swear, if you fucking say, people are just going to step up and run mining nodes, bro. And then you're going to have some nation state or let's just say Walmart. Walmart's going to run a node. And they're going to have free fees, right? And what are you going to do? How are you going to compete with that? You can't even outcompete their hash rate because you're doing it for free. So no, you're telling me people are not just going to do it for free. They're going to come out of pocket. The people who are hurting the most, they're going to spend all their precious Bitcoins they know are going to $1 million on infrastructure to run it at a negative loss so you can have your censorship resistance. They'll be like, well, why am I doing it? Why isn't everyone? That's the whole problem that I've learned with humanity. And it's kind of it's kind of right. I mean, if you really break it down, it's kind of like, well, if I have to do it, everyone has to do it. Because if I'm doing it and you're not fucking doing it, but yet you're benefiting, who the fuck are you? And you have that problem every time if it's free. There's no incentives. If it's Charlie will fucking do it. It's like Charlie will do it for so long. And then Charlie will stop because he doesn't want to do shit for free. And he's like, well, why isn't everyone doing it? That's the problem. So you don't come to me with that fucking answer. You know it's wrong. You can't say people are just going to run voluntary free infrastructure. So fees have to go to the moon. Or it's worse. It's worse if the fees don't go up. If the fees stay low, it's worse. Yeah. You have a broken network. You don't even have a liquidity layer. You have I wouldn't trust $1 billion when you could attack it with a graham cracker. Like, what are you talking about? You have to have incentives. So you better hope the fucking fees go up, because then you have number go up, and then you actually have a tyranny machine that they're going to pump liquidity and make it go to $1 million so you can get rich, dick, and live in your little slave world. Right? That's what you better hope the fees go up, because if they don't, you're fucked. The tyranny machine's fucked. Because Walmart owns it, or fucking Big Lots, or whoever the fuck. Anybody could own it because it's free. That's a worst case
scenario. That's a worst case scenario.
So stupid. I don't understand where these people think there has to be fees. Or inflation. Ooh, can't have that. I want to bring that one up.
In his
Lift
profile,
the block subsidy, and I think he has the 21 mil cap. So you're pro fucking high fee then.
His profile says pro deflation.
That's what it comes down to. If you're pro deflation, if you're pro cap, you're pro high fee. Period. Yeah. If you are pro low fee, you're pro inflation. There's no other two ways about it.
Yeah.
Period.
And we're pro zero fee.
So that's what you're saying. If you're saying it's low fee, you think
we must be inflationistas.
If you think there's going to be low fees, you are saying, whether you know it or not, there's going to be inflation on Bitcoin. They will raise the block size and have an infinite subsidy to pay the miner. That's what you're saying. That's what you're betting on. I don't think they're going to fork to that. That's a fork. That's a fucking fork. I don't think the tyranny machine wants low fees and fucking more of their control being leaked out. I don't think they want that. I think they have Bitcoin right where they fucking want it. Right? High, expensive, monster-ass... think of these things like Megatron. You ever seen that machine movie? I don't know the name of it. Fucking Megatron, dude. That's what these mining pools are right now. Imagine when they get bigger and stronger. You're not going to be able to fucking compete. There's no parameters on this fucking infrastructure voting. You're fucking out of there. You're out of there. So the fees are going to go to the goddamn moon. by design. They have to. I'm saying it. I don't know if anyone's ever said it. There's going to be $10,000 Bitcoin fee. That's going to be normal. To move a certain amount of money, 10,000, maybe in certain, I say in certain jurisdictions. And people are like, ooh, what do you mean by that? I mean, there's going to be a Chinese fucking miner that Americans can't use. They won't accept your fucking blocks. Right? Like, people think this isn't going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. You're going to have 3 mining pools. The mining pools are going to be KYC'd, right? And then in their certain jurisdictions. And in order to send from one to another, you're going to have to release your identity, or the miners are going to say no. And you're going to say, oh, but we'll have some scrappy rogue miners. We'll have some fucking shadow miners that fucking do it. It's like, bro, no, you're not. That's not how this works. Like, it's built by design to have one king, right? One king for every nation, for the East, the West. You're going to have the West, the United States, and everyone else are going to merge into one giant-ass fucking company. It might be like 5 mining pools owned by one company, right? One entity controls all of that. And the same is going to happen in the West, right? And they're going to jostle over fucking power. But if you don't think that they're going to say, hey, we have to do KYC, you're out of your mind. Like, I don't know where these scenarios where these people think this works, and how are you going to help with your node that doesn't have any fucking infrastructure behind it? How are you going to compete with these giant ass mining pools? And what are you going to do when the ETFs say you have to do this?
They'll say join the mining pools.
Yeah. What happens when Michael Saylor says you have to do it? Right? Like, it's a good thing to do because the number's going to go up. We don't have a fucking choice. Because the world's about to get really fucking chaotic. That's for damn sure. And this machine is going to replace pretty much all of banking when it comes to the way it is now, because it's just so tyrannical and so easy. The banking is just going to hop on the Lightning Network layer 2, right? Offer 0 fees, and that's where everyone's going to live. And they think happily ever after, while they have some censorship resistance on the base layer while they jostle for power. But all of them, like, you're going to get, there's no way that these mining pools don't conglomerate into 2 or 3 from all over the world, right? And they jostle for fucking power. And when you go to send a transaction, it's going to be like, what jurisdiction are you from? Oh, we don't accept that IP. Only these miners accept its IP, but you have to be KYC through them, or they're not going to allow it. And maybe you have a rogue miner, and it might take a fucking week to get through, and maybe you pay the guy $100,000, right? Because he's risking his life. Maybe you get something like that going on, right? But the majority of the big, beefy professional miners are not going to accept it. And these are going to be the people that are connected to the Lightning Network, that are connected to all the critical infrastructure, that are connected to the beast and the liquidity and the ETF people and all this fucking shit, right? All of these people are going to be one and compliant. And if you're on the outside, you're a target, right? And you're going to have very, very big incentives to do it. And it's going to be very, very shit experience. So then the only people who are going to use it are illegals, like people doing bad shit who are wanting to spend $100,000 and willing to wait a week, because no normal person would want that. And then they're going to have a reason to fucking demonize it, and come after you even fucking harder. And there's just no whack-a-mole system. There's no fucking way to stop these mining pools once they get out. You can't vote them out. Infrastructure, once it's there, you can't fork it. It's permanent. It's permanent. It's here for keeps. They needed a physical, permanent tyranny tool where they have all the energy, they have all the infrastructure. They know that the plebs can never beat them. They know the plebs can never outbeat them in mining, ever. Ever, 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 ever. They will always fucking win. They have more energy, they have more infrastructure. They always know that was going to happen. And then they sent you with the fucking virtual centralized corporation Ethereum fucking thing, right? Which doesn't matter with the infrastructure. They don't care. They're locking your fucking dollars in that thing. They're doing their CBDCs on that thing. They're doing their DeFi, their banking, offering their high interest, shit that they don't want to do on Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin is meant for one thing, Ethereum is meant for another. Same fucking people, though. It's the same people because it's the same goddamn design.
I would argue though that the CBDC is going to happen first on Bitcoin.
The Lightning Network CBDC.
Lightning Network is the CBDC.
So, I mean, it's the same, but it's the same thing. They're same people. It's the same goddamn game plan. High fee base layer, centralized layer 2. They replicated it. Really look at Ethereum and Bitcoin from afar. Removing the governance. Because if you add the governance, Bitcoin is completely different than Ethereum, and you can't even say it in the same breath. If we're talking from a tech stack point of view, unusable base layer by the masses, centralized layer 2 infrastructure. Whoa, whoopsie, we accidentally did it twice, guys. And it happens to be market cap what? 1 and market cap 2. I don't know how you call me a conspiracy theorist. I guess this is how the conspiracy theorists who were calling out shit years ago that was obvious, like we were too young we're young, we were too naive. But these people saying shit like 50 years ago, like, you know, how corrupt shit is and the CIA is listening to you and people are like, oh, these people are fucking nuts. It's like, that's kind of how I feel now. It's like, it's pretty obvious that this is all Hollywood. They're all running the same show, the same goddamn game plan. They want you on these tools that offer no fees, that you can send anywhere, centralized infrastructure. Lightning Network is so dangerous, man. Without a parallel economy, without a parallel world, it's so dangerous because it's a fucking devil. It's lightning fast, and you can't fucking stop it.
Enough trying to explain this shit to these people. Yeah. We need to laugh at these people more. Yeah, because they write some funny tweets that they don't realize are funny. So let's get to these. Yeah. This is one he says, I thought Bitcoin was an inflation hedge, where he's ironically taking the piss out of people who bought high, I think. And obviously the prices went up and Bitcoin went down.
It's a liquidity layer. I guess you could say it's a hedge as well.
That's Bybit. He's just 68k, 69k. So fair play. When the court case proved ETH is a centralized wealth extraction scheme entirely based on fraud. When's the court case? Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. We agree on ETH. Don't sell your Bitcoin to Wall Street. Yeah, fair enough. Bitcoin volatility breaks the shitcoin trading algos. That's assuming you're trying to get more Bitcoin.
Like, what is he pro? I haven't heard one thing that's practical to help me in my fucking life for censorship resistance, except just buy Bitcoin. That's your only answer. Just fucking buy Bitcoin.
High rates in a 125% debt to GDP environment just means the interest is paid by the working, productive public in the form of inflation and higher borrowing costs. I don't really agree with that, man. This idea that money printing and that more debt is causing inflation, I don't agree with that. I think that's to do with the war. I think it's to do with supply chain restrictions. Anyway, yeah, this is a boring one from him actually. This last set of tweets. It's today though. This is like 5 hours.
I mean, it's a lot of price talk, of course. It's what Bitcoin Maxis like to talk about the most.
This is obsessed with ETH to BTC. Nuke it, he says. Like, just leave it alone. Shut down TikTok. They are disruptive to the US social media companies. Information is power. I agree with that. I agree with a lot he's saying today. MSTR is down more than Bitcoin today. Of course it is. It's a leveraged asset on Bitcoin. It'll go down more. It'll go up more. But you won't tweet about it going up more. Can everyone sue Craig now and buy Bitcoin with his money? I guess they can, but I imagine Craig's probably going to prison in the near future after the ruling today. What the fuck? I'm sure there was a lot of debate in the community about this hard fork, and no single company made an arbitrary decision here. The hard fork is called Deacon. It's also known as... He's talking about Ethereum again. Let's move on. Anything he says about Ethereum, let's just move on. Announcing Stripe Business, our new platform for businesses looking to buy and manage Bitcoin. At its core, Stripe Business is a service that provides your business a trusted partner for buying Bitcoin with cheap fees, reliable services, and no limits with KYC. They never say with KYC.
Well, they said trusted. A trusted partner. One you have to fucking
trust.
That was all about trustless.
But the trust implies that you can trust them.
That was all about trustless.
The trust implies that you can trust them, but the trust is really that the system can trust the business.
Don't trust, verify?
Yeah. Right, this is the point, right?
You retweet Jack
It's always Jack
Mallers,
you know?
Oh,
and here's Richard retweeting this crap, you know? And this is what it just blows me away about these Bitcoin maxis. That he's spot on Ethereum, and then when it comes to this stuff on Bitcoin, it's like completely ignored, like it's progress. Yeah. I don't really want to listen to eight minutes of Jack Mallers.
It's very strange because he doesn't mention coin voting in the pre-mine, and yet he's pro-Bitcoin. So he's saying Bitcoin's governance is decentralized. So he knows the consensus on Bitcoin, but he doesn't know the consensus on Ethereum, or doesn't quite understand why the pre-mine's really, really bad, or at least doesn't talk about it.
No, he did. He did. He mentioned the pre-mine earlier.
But with coin voting,
It's
important. It's important to know why the pre-mine. You don't say pre-mine's bad. You tell people why it's bad so they can understand the whole thing here, the whole schnick. Yet he doesn't look at the tech stack and see that it's just like Ethereum's game plan. Centralized layer 2s.
Yeah, it's the exact same. Just the proof of work
equivalent.
That's what I don't
get. It's weird. I don't get it.
Let's keep going through some of this. I want to find something that's just points out like the Maxism. Bitcoin equals real money connected to the real world for real things. Okay, where can someone show me where people aren't just when they get Bitcoin like in El Salvador they aren't just selling it because of volatility risk?
Well, yeah, and tell me anyone in El Salvador that has Bitcoin on layer 1.
Right. But $30 worth of Bitcoin on layer 1.
Does anyone on the fucking? Does anybody get it on the layer 1, or do they get it to their?
No, they get it to their. They get it to their
KYC.
Didn't
they get a bunch of free Bitcoin?
Yeah, they dropped.
Did they drop it on the base layer?
No.
Why did they drop on it? So these people never actually owned a Bitcoin.
No, they sold it though.
They owned Bitcoin through a company that could censor them.
Well, through a government entity, I believe it was. Might have been a company.
And these people are pro this shit, man. Like, do they not?
Ethereum equals fancy kids playing money.
I mean, they tried. That's like a fucking fucked up attempt at UBI, man.
Yeah.
It's like airdrop it all to Lightning, no fees, and it's like, oh, they sold it. We got to make a stable coin now. The Maxis are like, that's why. I swear, if he talks about Lightning Network stablecoin in a pro manner,
I'm sure it's coming.
Oof,
I'm sure it's coming.
Oof.
Imagine if this fucking guy had to do uncensured non-plant. Yeah, okay.
That's the fucking worst, man. That's the CBDC devil.
Please stop shilling stocks. If you're a Bitcoiner, it's retarded. This is after Michael Saylor's point that you should like Bitcoin's the
it's the apex. That's
right.
So it's a weird world to actually live in too, as well. If you look at it like just only investing in one asset and nothing else.
This is it though. These guys have got to stop talking about Bitcoin and freedom. They've got to stop doing it. It's not the two don't go hand in hand anymore. It's over. You can pump your bags with Michael Saylor and sit next to him all you like. That's great. Good for you. You're right.
And
but don't come and say it's also going to bring us freedom.
The
most
it's
not.
Fucked up part about Bitcoin, right? Because if Hive didn't exist, I would be thinking of ways to decentralize the Lightning Network node. But the fucked up part about Bitcoin Maxis is they don't like other coins. And you can't incentivize without a fucking coin.
It's beautiful.
So they handicap their goddamn selves.
They can't solve
it's
the
like,
problem.
well, how we can't incentivize.
This one.
Like, all right, everyone raise their hand who's going to run a free Lightning Network node, and like everyone does, and then like a week from now, no one does.
The thing about Maxis is that they can't solve the fundamental problem they're going to face because they need a coin to incentivize infrastructure. They can't do it.
Just airdrop it all the fucking Bitcoiners and incentivize Lightning Network.
Basically,
somehow.
In the future, Bitcoiners will be known as the people that only incentivize miners. That's all they do. They don't incentivize any other infrastructure, right? That's what Bitcoin will be.
Need to build
and it's just going to be so like Stone Age thinking, you know? It's so funny.
You know what we could do is we could just airdrop it to all the Lightning Network node operators and build some way to do a whack-a-mole Lightning Network system on Lightning Network. And back there, we gave you your fucking system.
What,
no pre-mine, no nothing, just dropped it to all the Bitcoiners.
To incentivize the nodes, you mean?
To incentivize Lightning Network.
Yeah.
Just build a system like Speed Network, but for fucking game
exactly,
theorize some fucking tokenomics,
exactly
but whatever. But like, there's no pre-mine, dropped it to you. Probably still hate it.
Well, yeah, of course they will. They'll hate the fact that we drop them tokens to help them actually stay independent.
They
don't need Chase Bank.
Oh, it's so frustrating. It's like you can't even.
They'll sell them.
It's like you can put the heads. It's like a horse is fucking drying. It's like dying of dehydration, and you're putting the horse's water like head underwater,
and they spit it out,
and they don't
They're
drink.
Spit it back in the pond,
and they spit it in your face and take a shit.
We should do that. We should do that as an exercise just to prove how insane Bitcoin Maxis are. We should drop incentivized infrastructure tokens to Bitcoin Lightning node operators and see what they do. Because we can literally solve their problem.
Yeah, we can.
But I think on the flip side, there's other products out there that are being built on layer 2s that will incentivize the infrastructure anyway. So it'll be a meaningless task, but it'll be
a meaningless task. It'll be symbolic because everyone's still going to use their fucking Chase Jack Mahler's node because it's just going to be better than even our fucking nodes that are incentivized. So you're just not going to be able to compete with these people.
Yeah,
but it'll be symbolic. We'll at least say, hey, you had a fucking chance.
You had a chance. You did have a chance.
Literally everything in our fucking humanly power to fucking do it. Like,
exactly.
And yeah, you did.
Exactly. All right, so he says the grifters are back in action. Here to tell you how Bitcoin has failed at something. Yeah, we've been telling you that for the last 5 minutes, and how the base layer of global money needs to have more transaction throughput. Yes, it does.
It succeeded in being a tyranny tool.
They'll be sure to tell you which shitcoin to buy instead. No, don't buy any shitcoins. Listen, we will recommend a shitcoin on this channel. Do not buy it. Yeah. You can earn it.
You can earn it.
You can earn it from being social. Yeah. That's all you need to do.
Much rather you earn it than buy it.
Like, this is the thing. This is how you know Bitcoin Max has got it wrong. They always say this: buy my shitcoin. Don't buy our shitcoin. Please don't buy our shitcoin. Don't buy it. Earn it.
You know what's funny? If you can earn it, and if you show me you earn it, I'll fucking give you some more for free.
And do you know what?
Free.
Do you know what? You can earn it by spending it.
These people are giving away free coins. This is going to go to zero.
We are literally, check this out.
The trick is it's actually going to go up because it becomes more valuable the more people that are joining.
Yeah, the more it distributes, the more valuable it becomes.
I know, it's a fucking mind blower, man. It is what it is, though.
Like, people just don't, it's like an MMT guy talking to an Austrian economist, you know? Like, they just don't get each other. They're like chalk and cheese. It's the same thing here. It's like, we are literally about to incentivize people cover the bills every time they buy shit in shops, right? Every time they buy shit in shops, they're going to get their money back instantly. That's where this is going. And everyone's going to say, oh, you can't do that. That's against the laws of economics. Well, it is in the immediate term, but when you look at the thing on a deeper layer, it's possible to do this. It's possible to distribute a currency by paying people for spending. Yeah, right? It's not forever. It's a temporary thing to get the currency out there, but the value of getting the currency out there is way stronger than the distribution of the new currency.
Exactly. The network effect. The reason why it has value is because the network effect, the censorship resistance, the more that network effect grows, the more valuable the censorship resistance becomes, the more immutable. Therefore, you can literally give away coins, right? You're giving away coins to people who are joining the network. People are earning the coin, not buying it.
From a neutral layer.
They're adding value from the outside and earning the coin, right? The number, if you're talking, we're just talking theoretically here, right? Speculation, right? Network effect increases, you can give away coins for free. If you can give away coins for free in a very clever, easy fucking way, and network effect grows, and it becomes more valuable as the network effect grows, what do you have? You have the ability to give away fucking free coins, right? And that's a very blunt, simplistic way to do it, but as this network effect grows, as I can give you an output and buy you a beer instantly, people are like, oh, what's this? You buy your friend a beer, right? Because all of the inflation doesn't have to go to the miners. Right? You understand that in coin voting, distribution matters, so you put it into the individual stakeholders' hands and you incentivize him to give it away to as many people as possible that they deem worthy to be a part of the network, right? Who's earning? Who's willing to put up some value? Right, and as it grows, it becomes more valuable. So that's the way. No fees, no barriers, free,
no KYC,
free.
No
Don't
KYC,
buy. Earn,
permissionless,
earn,
no ICO, no pre-mine, no CEO,
no Jack Mallers, no
Jack
centralized
Mallers.
company. We're not shilling us a company. We're not saying go buy. We're literally saying you can go and you can earn it. And then you can have your friend earn it. We'll give you some for free. We'll give you some for free.
How is that a shitcoin?
Even if we don't like you, we'll give you some for free because we believe in people being a part of this network that we don't like, that we do disagree with, because we want rambunctiousness. We want as much chaos in this system as possible, as much people who are different and disagreeable as possible. That's what coin voting is about. Distribution and people who are earning, putting value towards the system, and all growing the network at the same time. Not just going to one fucking group of people, the miners. Why?
That's the thing. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be a miner oligarchy. Bitcoin is a mining oligarchy where you're going to have to go to a miner and ask to do a job for him at a certain set rate that he sets that you can then please earn some Bitcoin. You know, it's such a pathetic model for the future. Like, run from that shit as quickly as you can because it is not a good model for the future. I just don't see why, especially as these miners are being slowly but surely bought up by the government. So it becomes like a government-run entity, ultimately. And you're going to work for the government.
And what's very important about giving away for free, growing the network effect is we are Trojan horsing an asset that's $1. It's $1 that I can send you instantly for free, right? Sounds like the Lightning Network CBDC, but it's not a CBDC. It's a censorship-resistant, untouchable, unfucking fuckable means of me sending you $1, right? We're Trojan horsing that. So it's not like we're giving you a fucking meme coin and you don't have a reason to hold it. If you're in Venezuela and I give you some of this Hive and you turn it into HBD, you now have a way to store in dollars without a bank, without a centralized custodian, no fees. You can earn more of it. You can send it to anywhere, anytime, no restrictions. That's sticky as fuck, man, because nobody else is offering that. So it's like, oh, they're giving away stuff. It's going to go to zero. You have no idea what the fuck is happening right now. It's like literally Trojan horsing the greatest use case humanity's ever seen for censorship, resistance, and freedom. We're brute forcing freedom into the world via buying. You think it's cute? I give you a beer, boom, boom, boom. You're in a little bit of HBD. You think that's cute? That's fucking freedom. That's power. That's real shit, right? And you can distribute this currency to anyone, anytime. That's fucking real, man. That's practical. It's not centralized Lightning Network, CBDC bullshit. It is real distribution, growing the network. So yes, I can give away crypto for free if the protocols are right, if everything is correct, and the network effect grows, and it doesn't go to fucking zero. It actually goes up in value because the means of distribution. And once enough people have this HBD, this mirror asset, this dollar, this untouchable fucking dollar, once enough people have it, they're just going to hold it. Why would you do anything else with it? You can stake it on a base layer, not needing a centralized custodian. You can self-custody this and earn interest. Like, there's going to be a point where it's like I remember there was people in Cuba that were trading phone minutes because it was more convenient than their fiat. And then there's going to be Lightning Network nodes that are crappy, they're hard, it's complicated. Shit, like, it's still good tech, but like in some of these areas, it's going to be tough to get the infrastructure. We beat them. It's like we're all over Venezuela right before. Like, we're going to beat them to the punch. We don't need red tape. Like, Jack Mullers has to go knock on politicians' doors. He's a fucking company, right? There's no red tape here. We just keep going.
In this, the only way is that the politicians come and knock on the doors of the Hive community.
Knock on them all you want.
They have to knock on the door, and they have to re-earn their
we had the CCP.
They have to re-earn their stake. They have to re-earn their stake in society.
Knock on our door.
Well, they came and fucking tried to knock the door down, bang the door down.
Well, they did.
But what we're saying here is that with a system like this, the government will have to come back to the community and re-earn its authenticity, re-earn its legitimacy, in a fair way, because the community will distribute to them if they're doing good things for the community.
Yeah, once you wake up and this place is everywhere, not just one country, but everywhere, you're fucked, right? Because now it's like they have $1 that can't be, they don't need us. They don't need anything. We can't offer anything to these people. We can't say, oh, we'll give you no fees. Oh, we'll store your money securely. Oh, they have everything. It's like once you're going to wake up and the whole world's going to be on it. And it's not going to ever be televised. The revolution never is televised. But it's brute force. It's giving away for free. Real life-changing use case. And as you give it away to more useful people, it becomes more valuable. That's what we're dealing with here, right? It's like taking a small thing of fire and making more fire out of it and calling fire a scam because fire is infinite. Well, it's the same thing we're doing here. The fire becomes more powerful the more you spread it, the more you give it away for free, right? That's what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with something that is almost an element.
Let's move on from our favorite stablecoin and let's go back to Mr. Dick here.
Okay.
Because I think Mr. Dick's starting to say some things that,
let's come back to
we can resonate with.
Fake crypto bullshit world. Let's see.
All right. So Mr. Dick says your financial plan is to use debt to hoard metals and real estate that you don't actually use. I think people live in the real estate, don't they? They live in the real estate and they have renters in their real estate. And I'm assuming they can use gold to loan out to get loans to speculate with, for example.
Yeah, I have no problem against gold except that they can take it from you. But
do you really think you are adding value to the world? I'd say, yeah, a little bit, yeah. I mean, it depends what layer the debt sits on. If the debt sits on a layer that's centralized and obscure, then it's a problem.
Oh, he's thinking buy Bitcoin is helping the world.
Right. Or were you just raised to think this is the kind of capitalism that lifts all boats? Like, were you raised to think that Bitcoin is the kind of capitalism that lifts all boats? Why do you think that what you're suggesting in using Bitcoin is any different? Right? Why do you think, like, no one's going to use Bitcoin on the base layer? Like once in a blue moon, you might send some Bitcoin on a base layer when it's a big purchase, like a house or something. You know?
And it's like, yeah, go. Number
Normal
went
people aren't
up,
gonna
man.
use
But
it.
and what was the cost? What did you give up? Number go up, fee have to go up, right? If fee go up, what did you really give up to get rich? Because now everyone has this. That's the thing, man. Humans are sheep, man, and like they're going to use the easiest fucking tech. And if you allow the Lightning Network to gain global fucking a hold and let them build their little dollars on it, where people can send it with ease all the time, and they'll give it away for fucking free, like they did in El Salvador. They'll do whatever they have to fucking do to get this into your hands. It's over, man. Like
it's not.
We know it's not because we're building a solution. But if you live in a Bitcoin Maxi world where there's no other goddamn solution,
that's where they're going.
How do you not have nightmares at
it.
night that's going to happen to you? Yeah. How do you not understand that that's like number go up, fee go up? It has to have that. Fee go down, you don't have anything.
You know what they've done over time? They've like associated the number go up with personal freedom, which it will give them some form of personal freedom to an extent because they'll get rich, but they'll be trapped in this system.
It's like this. It's like as the number goes up, this happens.
Right. The door closes, boom.
You're fucked.
But they think that over the years and years of because Bitcoin was once upon a time a freedom tool, right? It's been commandeered and now it's not going to be a freedom tool. No. And these guys are still associating the number go up with the freedom go up. And it's like, dudes, wake up. The freedom's not going up. It's going down. The more the number goes up now, the more the freedom goes down. And you know, your high fee base layer means that you won't be able to use it on the custodial layer. Most people have to use it on the layer 2, and it will be choose your custodian. You have to KYC, and they can then turn your account off.
The thing about me is,
it's very simple to explain.
I don't know what you would label us. I'm I'm a practicalist, right? I'm not sitting here on my high horse. I'm not saying I'm fucking morally superior or any of this shit. Like, invest in a Ponzi, know it's a Ponzi, and get out and make your money. I don't fucking judge you, right? Like, this is a hard fucking world. But don't label it. Call it what it is. Right? I don't understand the tech that you're working with. Yeah, I know you're fucking much more moral than I am. I'm a poker player. I'm a game theorist. I'm a practicalist, and I'm like, I understand how humans work, and we're all kind of pieces of shit to an extent. Some of us are, some of us not. Some of us is a real big pieces of shit though.
Hey, he knows me. He knows me. I'm a great guy.
Hats off. But to me, it's like, as long as you're saying, hey, Bitcoin's a tyranny machine, it's going to go to 1 million, but I'm going to invest in it. I'm going to get out. I'm going to help take some of the profits, build on some of the freedom tools, whatever, right? But if you're going to go around and just do this with your memes and say it's decentralized and not understand, like, okay, answer these questions. You've done so many tweets. Just answer. Are you pro self-custodio or not?
Hold on, Richard. Please answer these questions.
Yeah. Do you believe in holding your keys? Do you think that's important for humanity or for only the rich? That's what it comes down to.
I would say he'd argue, yes, he does believe that.
And I would say that you're pro-tyranny. Like, that's a pretty shitty thing to do. Because that means everyone else is controlled because they have to use corporations that can do whatever they want with their Bitcoin. And only the people who are rich can afford the freedom. And the fucking elites are making the middle class obsolete. So like everyone's going to be on that end. And there's only going to be a few of you at the top. And yeah, maybe you have your Bitcoins and you can afford the censorship resistance on the base layer. And it's like, but dude, like that's really shitty for everyone else. And like to not even think, just to not even try to come up with a solution for everyone else. You're just like, fuck you.
It's like...
Use your custodial fucking Lightning wallet and like it. You sound like a WEF member.
You know what it's like? It's like a socialist. Socialists believe they're doing good for the world and they're obsessed with the idea that they're doing good. But in reality, they're doing bad. And they're going to lower everyone to the same common denominator. It's exactly the same. It's becoming like that with a Bitcoiner. There's going to be a very small higher class at the top of people that bought in. And there's going to be all these other plebs that could never even afford to buy in. They could never get in, right? And they're all going to exist on the socialist bottom layer. And you're going to say, we got our freedom.
So that's what they are. So I guess they're more like this. They're like, okay, look, man, this is pretty brutal. I'll give it some respect if this is how they think. It's fucking ruthless, though. Like, and I'm not ruthless. Is sometimes you gotta be ruthless. So if you're fucking poor, you deserve to be controlled. If you're not rich, if you can't afford security, you don't deserve security. I'm not saying I believe this, but if I'm turning into a Bitcoin Maxi,
That's
if
what
I
the
have to
Maxis will-
rationalize without being an evil character, you think that if you don't have the money, you don't deserve it.
It's the same thing with free
It's
speech.
like, you must be a shitty person if you don't have money, and you who cares if you're controlled? Use your shitty Lightning network.
bro,
You can't send your money? Not my problem, bro. Don't use exchanges, bro.
It's
I
the same
can't
thing with
fucking afford
Maxis.
not to use an exchange. That's what Lightning Network is. It's a giant exchange.
It's the same thing with Maxis and free speech. It's the exact same thing. They think that if you want free speech, you've got to pay for it.
Pay for it.
You've got to put it on the base layer and pay the $1,000
I wonder
transaction
whose
fee.
voices we'll hear if you have to pay for free speech.
Dicks.
I wonder if we'll get the
We'll hear
truth.
Dick.
Or will we get something that'll make the rich richer? Because they're the only ones that can
the
speak.
propaganda, the propagandized vote, right? Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
All right, let's have a look at this next one.
The hypocrisy.
I'm too stupid to understand what that one means.
I mean, if you're a borderline bad person, it's like that's a pretty ruthless way to think. I mean, I appreciate fucking villains and like fucking the elite, like the way they think. It's like it's fucking sadistic shit, man. As a game theorist, you gotta respect the hustle in a way. I'm vehemently against it, and I'll fight to death against it. But you gotta respect where respect is due. If you're going up against a big fucking monster, but it's a big fucking monster, you know. I gotta respect it. So if that's the way you think, you're a fucking ruthless bastard. In theory, you'll get exactly what you want. So if that's the world you want to live in and that's what you're cool with, and it's like, yeah, cool, you're right. Let the fucking people without money be controlled. But the problem is you think that you're safe. That's the problem. Because when everyone else is controlled, who's going to help you? It's the fucking like, oh, they didn't come for me mentality. You think you and your 10 Bitcoin or fucking or 100 Bitcoin is going to be safe from fucking tyranny? Just because you can use the base layer, they're just gonna knock on your door.
Do you know what I like and dislike about this guy, right? So far, I was thinking we were going to come across him saying some freedom shit, right? But I haven't seen one tweet from him where he talks about freedom, right? So as a Bitcoin Maxi, he's one of these Maxis, and maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe there are things of him talking about freedom, but as far as I can see from his tweets, he's a Bitcoin Maxi that's just a number go up guy, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of them.
But then I've got a problem with that as well. Because it's like, if you're a number go up Maxi and you're on Twitter 7 times a day talking about number go up, where's your decency, man? Just get rich and be quiet. Yeah. You know? You don't need to be on Twitter
Bitcoin
all day.
It doesn't need you to fucking cheerlead it.
It doesn't need you to cheerlead it. So what are you doing? What are you trying to achieve here?
You know what's funny? I don't think
I've
ever talked about the Hive price. Like, ever. I think I've maybe mentioned it once. And I don't even check it every day. I actually can go weeks without checking the Hive price. I'm so busy fucking worried about the real world problems and like fixing them. You know, that's my problem. That's like, we're in real problems, and Bitcoin doesn't solve them. Bitcoin does the opposite. Bitcoin can be used in great ways for censorship resistant liquidity. We're grateful for it because if without it, we'd be kind of fucked.
Here we go. Here's one from him. This is where we come in because we are social media Web3 guys, right? Yeah. So he says, I might start using TikTok on the web if the web app gets banned. Uniparty sponsored censorship only tells me there's something on there they don't like, and it's not to protect your data. Right, so this is interesting because it's like, yeah, it's got a good point, right? Probably they're trying to ban TikTok, and I think they've succeeded. I think they've actually figured out a way to get the
but isn't it Chinese
the
controlled?
US it's Chinese controlled, but I think they've figured out a way to like do a deal with the Chinese where the US presented version of it will be run by US reportable people, but I don't know for sure. They're definitely attacking TikTok, right? So he's like, I should use TikTok more, right? Well, I'm like, yeah, but if it's a Chinese run one, it's just going to have the same Chinese propaganda on it, and that's going to ban all the US propaganda, right?
Yeah, but we were also attacked by a fucking Chinese billionaire.
Right, we were attacked, and we, as far as we see it, because we succeeded against a Chinese billionaire.
Defending a fucking centralized app.
So to me, it's like, yeah, okay, go use another Web2 app, right? But then he'll say, well, okay, no, we'll use Nostra. You know, and it's like, yeah, it's not incentivized infrastructure. You can't incentivize the infrastructure, so you have to run Web2 models on the infrastructure, and again, that infrastructure will become compromised as a result. It can't support free speech in the long run.
And they just think that people are just going to run their Nostra nodes for free, man.
They'll just run it for free. Yeah, so we'll freaking Chase Bank.
Where people live where everyone's so nice, man. I don't get it.
On the moon, I guess they're all on the moon, aren't they?
Dude. Try to ask somebody for $1. It's like, who do you think's going to run your fucking data for you and much less get in trouble for you when like shit comes to the fan and you start saying some controversial stuff.
I actually, the more I'm reading his tweets, I respect him more because he doesn't bang on about freedom like most Maxis do. He's actually just like Mr. Price. He's Mr. Price, go up and fuck the rest of you. That's what this guy is. I'm starting to see that. Which is also very disrespectful because if you're on the freaking web, interwebs, talking about this shit, why don't you just be quiet? You know, what are you achieving apart from ego boosts by talking about this shit while everyone else gets poor? You know? That's going to be a thing that Bitcoin has got to manage. You're going to have decent social media to put out propaganda to stop the plebs from lynching you because you got too rich, right? That's like, see that future as well.
You can't live in a world with no middle class. It never ends good.
That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin represents a world with no middle class.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. It's not smart unless you've got a damn good social media platform.
There's no room for the middle class.
But you're not going to get that
all up into the same centralized layer 2 layer. That's what it does.
All right, let's read one or two more of these. Still nice and cozy on the Bitcoin igloo.
It's like, we're really reaching hard here to find a reason to not do the obvious. I want to give you another metaphor.
Really
You're at the top of the North Pole. It's 70 degrees. We're all playing Frisbee.
I want to like him, but I don't because I understand that what he is. I think he's a fucking Hollywood actor, but...
Yeah, I mean, like he's got nothing to do with Bitcoin. The fact
he's definitely not pro freedom.
The final nail in the coffin for me with him was yesterday when he said that Bitcoin is not a currency. Right? That is, I get it.
Well, he's one of these guys that would be 100% the plebs using custodial wallet or centralized wallet. He would be 100%.
He's not interested in Bitcoin being a freedom tool. He's interested in it making him money. Right? And which I get it. You've got to look at it and say, okay, it's going to make me money. But at the same time, at what cost? At what cost to society? So they've all got to work for you to get your distribution of Bitcoin when you start to distribute it later. You know? Like, what the fuck's that about? I don't get it. Like, so you can be the top of the tree and everyone else has got to work for you. I don't get that. You know, that's not a freedom-based society. It just doesn't end in a good, in an honest, ethical economic system.
I mean, you have to have a way where there's a middle class. The protocol has to allow a middle class. It has to allow people to earn it without barriers to entry and rise within the system.
You have to be able to earn the token, and don't tell me, okay, mine it, because that's bullshit by now at this point.
No, you can't mine it. You can't mine Bitcoin.
You're gonna have to earn it off Michael Saylor.
You fucking mine Bitcoin unless you're rich.
Yeah, you're gonna have to earn it off Michael Saylor, and he will set the prices. You know, it's not a good position.
You have to buy Bitcoin. Or like fucking.
In fact, I'd love someone to ask Saylor that question. You know, what's it going to be like when no one can afford to mine, so there's no way to earn Bitcoin anymore, right? And everyone's got to come and earn it off you. Is that a fair world? I'd love it. I'd love to hear his answer for that because he's going to have.
Well, he says he's never selling. He's just going to.
He's going to have to sell it because I think he'll get lynched.
He thinks it's going to go up forever.
Yeah, I know, and it maybe it does.
And his theoretical. So this is his game plan, and it's fucking crazy. So it's like, okay. He buys Bitcoin, he takes out a loan, buys Bitcoin, number goes up. Since number goes up, he can take out another loan. He takes out the loan, he buys more Bitcoin, number goes up, and then the loan, he just keeps, and then when it goes down, he fucking hopes it doesn't go, you know, he's been right? But he's just like going to just keep riding the loans. He just thinks it's going to go forever. He's going to keep fucking.
Microsoft might. So this is interesting because MicroStrategy might end up in that situation where it's over leveraged and the price comes down too much. There'll be a big push for that, actually. There'll be a big push towards taking the Bitcoin price down to Michael Saylor's liquidity point on MicroStrategy. So that company's at risk because he's doing this. He's using it as a debt leverage.
Well, yeah, since it's gone to
mechanism.
70, he can add more debt, more leverage, and he just buys more, which makes the price go up more, and it just like keeps thinking this. He thinks he's found a money printing cheat code. Just keep fucking. As the number goes up, you take a loan, you buy more, and you just keep, and that makes the number go up.
This dude is not Mr. Freedom, and this is what's annoying. Like true crypto people like me and Dan, who've been in it for years. I got into this tech because it was supposed to provide people with freedom, and people like Saylor now have realised this is one of the things I like about Saylor. He's realised that this is not a currency for the people. It's a get-rich mechanism for the elite.
Going up, that's for sure.
You know, I mean,
he's smart. He knows the
so if you were to ask Saylor, is Bitcoin for freedom? He'd either give you a very smart answer, or he'd be straight with the truth and be like, no, it's not.
He'd give you a very smart answer.
He'd give you a smart answer, but he
wouldn't say yes. If you can afford it, then yeah.
He wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't say yeah.
And in a world with no middle class, you won't be able to afford it.
Right.
So you'll be stuck. It's what has to happen for Bitcoin to be successful because if the fees are low, it sucks and it's broken. It doesn't work. So,
yeah.
Or you add inflation.
Igloo on the North Pole. there's a guy at the front door. He charges admission, and you can buy a
this guy
ticket for
ridiculous.
$1. You don't need the ticket. You like it outside. And then some politician
I like
turns
him,
down
man.
the
I like
beer
it. You
with
got to
him.
like him. Yeah.
He's not a
yeah.
tyranny. He's not a freedom fighter. That's
No.
for damn sure.
temperature 10
Kind of
degrees.
sitting next to a fucking guy you're like on opposite sides of the war with, but you can still enjoy a beer because he's fucking got a mouthpiece.
Well, I got a feeling that we might be on the same side because I think he will. I think he'll get around to the point where he'll realize that Bitcoin is bringing in tyranny. He'll still hold it, but he'll admit it.
I think
eventually.
these people think they're free market people, and they think, oh, Stripe censors you, someone can use someone else, but they don't realize like it's not a free market anymore. Now, when it comes to money, it's not a free market. So they're going to control the means of flow.
Yeah. All right, let's keep listening.
And the ticket price goes to $10. You still keep playing, no big deal. And then some politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees, and the ticket price goes to $100. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, what's in that igloo? It might be kind of dangerous in that igloo. I think I'll just stay there. So another politician turns on the temperature another 10 degrees, and you're afraid of the igloo. It's dark in there, and maybe it isn't dark, and maybe the food's not so good. And I turn it down another 10 degrees. When it gets to 0 degrees and you're in T-shirt and you start getting bone chilled, the temperature, the price is going to go to $100,000 to get in, and you still don't know whether or not you can get in. But
I love analogies.
I like
talk
it.
in a lot of analogies, so I know he's talking about, but
intelligent person, you know.
What he's not telling you is the igloo is going to say Costco or fucking Chase Bank. That's why he's not telling you. You're going to climb into the Chase Bank.
See, this is the thing, though. For him, so this is where he needs to correct his speech, in my opinion, because for him,
he's going to be
it's
fine.
correct. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's
fine.
in the base layer igloo.
He's fucking
right.
He's fucking golly.
But he's talking like this is available to everyone, and it's not.
It's not. You're going to go into your little fucking Costco igloo, and you're going to
have to go into the Michael Saylor igloo.
You got the purple hair.
Purple hair igloo.
You got the Flappy Bird. Fucking, oh, God.
You have to go into the Ethereum igloo with the Flappy
the
birds.
elites are crazy. They're after us. This isn't normal. And you're giving them tyranny tools.
There needs to be another solution,
This
guys.
guy's talking about fucking igloos.
Through the door before you, and they're fine waving.
No, it's actually perfectly accurate. It is going to be an igloo because you're going to be left out in the cold. 99% of you.
Yeah, that's what he's
saying.
saying.
In a nice little fucking boat, and you're going to be in your goddamn igloo.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Balls off.
That's what he's saying. But the problem is, he doesn't seem to realize yet that he's talking about himself only and a very small number of people. The rest of us are going to be in Costco igloo. You know, he doesn't. That's what he should be doing.
No, we'll be in Michael Saylor igloo.
That's what I said. That's what I said. It will be a Michael Saylor igloo.
Jack Mahler.
You didn't hear me because you were on your rant.
The Jack Mahler. Fucking.
There'll be the Jack Mahler. There'll be the Jack Dorsey igloo where you have to have a fucking bald head and a beard to get in, and a yoga mat.
Yoga mat.
You know,
most important.
You're saying it's warm in here. You're going to freeze to death, Brian. And you're still standing there, and the guy cranks the temperature down, and there's a Peter Schiff standing next to you going, I don't think you should go into that heated igloo because it's possible the politicians will pass a law making it illegal or tax.
Yeah, we'll be standing next to the Costco igloo and the Chase igloo saying you shouldn't be going into the Chase igloo, guys.
He's directly talking to the rich right now. Talking to the rich.
Right.
Those aren't. Censorship resistance isn't matters of the plebs. They don't deserve it. Talking to your rich friends.
Well, why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be, right? Because you don't want the plebs' money. You want the rich people's money to go into Bitcoin to pump it higher. You don't need the plebs' money. Yeah. You know, it's not enough.
You on that heated igloo, and then the politician cranks it down to minus 40 below, and Peter Schiff is still telling you, man, I don't know if it's safe in that igloo. And all your friends are saying, Brian, you idiot. Why don't you come in here and stop freezing to death? It's fine here.
It's not going to be all your see, it's disingenuous because he's just talking about the rich.
Well, it feels like you're sitting at a boys' club meeting and he's talking to all the boys that can afford it.
Like this meme, this is one rich dude who's refusing to go into the layer 1 igloo. But this igloo over here is the layer 2 igloo where you have to be a slave for Chase Bank. And that's where most people, it's a really big, look, it's a massive fucking igloo. Look, it's the size of that mountain, right? It's all that big. And that's where most people are going to be in there.
Yeah.
If they get on the second layer of Bitcoin with their and they give their KYC
and
details.
They should run a test. I want to end it here. They should run a test and see how many people from El Salvador still have their original Bitcoin that they dropped or they were forced to sell it.
They all sold it.
They all sold it.
Everyone sold it.
So it was shown
that's
that
the
was
problem.
all sold.
That's like Jose Pimpo, who
No,
was
that's just
the
goes
guy
to
that
show
put
you
it
that
in.
it'll go to $1 million, but the plebs won't be able to hold it.
No, they won't be able to hold it because of the
They'll have to
volatility.
sell every dip.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
It's that's why I say, like, you have to respect in a game theory. It's if you take all morals out, that's fucking sadistic as fuck. Bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, dude, let's make an asset that goes to $1 million. Everyone knows it's going to go to $1 million.
And they still can't hold it.
And they're going to be poor and centralized anyway.
Yeah.
And only the rich win.
Yeah.
And they're going to cheer it on.
That's what's happening.
Oh, you fucking.
That's what's happening.
That's
why it was so good to have Jose Pimpo at Hive Fest, because he was involved in dropping this shit to the El Salvadorian public. And he said most people sold it, and they did these studies as to why it happened, why people didn't hold their Bitcoin, and they said it was lack of education, lack of availability to spend it,
lack of money, food,
lack of money is what it was. They all got it and they sold it, right?
God damn.
You need to have a non-KYCable stable coin that goes to people that can't be controlled by a third party or a KYC layer, right? That's what people need. They don't need Bitcoin.
They need a way to store in dollars in a dignified manner and a way to earn more dollars in a dignified manner from anywhere on the planet.
Off a neutral layer.
That's what they fucking need. They don't need an asset that goes like this and they can't fucking, hold it. Right. And then they can't earn it. So it's like they're stuck with this volatile asset that they're eventually going to have to sell when it's down, and they can't earn any of it.
But
so it's
by the way, that's the point, right? That's the key thing to this so-called Ponzi system, right? If you can earn it, you can have dignity, right? If you have to be dropped it by a government and then told go spend it in the economy, that's slavery.
Yeah. If you have
it's slavery to the Maxi. How does Bitcoin distribute Bitcoin to the plebs? How does it do it? Apart from airdrop, Michael Saylor's benevolent. Michael Saylor wakes up on bed, the right side of bed one day, and he decides, I'm going to drop some Bitcoin to people. That's That's how Bitcoin's going to distribute Bitcoin to people.
Yeah. So you need a way. So you have $1 that can't be seized, and you can move it anywhere on the planet for free, instantly, and you don't have to KYC. So you have $1. Send it anywhere, no KYC. That's the foundational level. You need that. You need ability to have an unseizable dollar. From there, you have to have a way to earn this unseizable dollar in a dignified manner without KYC, without corporation intervention, without middleman. Right? So now I have a way as anyone, anywhere, and let's just say I'm in a country that's doing really terrible and my fiat currency sucks, I can earn dollars now in a dignified manner, and I don't need a bank account just from a device. And from now I'm earning dollars, right? And then I go into this neutral protocol world and I say, look, I'm a musician, and and I got this merchant and this is my friend, and you earn fucking dollars, right? And it doesn't cost you any fees. So now you're able to store the dollars. And now you might actually have savings. You might take 10% of those dollars and put them in a savings account, earn some interest. And you don't have to worry about the fluctuation, right? You can't do that with Bitcoin.
You can't.
You need to be able to earn dollars without KYC from anywhere on the planet, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without somebody being benevolent. The opposite, they have to be incentivized.
Yeah.
So you need a bunch of people who are trying to give value and earn, and a bunch of people are like, I'm looking for people who are wanting to be incentivized and earned, and I want to distribute to you. I want to distribute dollars to you. And I don't have to KYC, I don't have to bank, I don't have any fees. I want to distribute dollars to you because you are making everything better by joining the network. That's what you need. If you don't have that, you're fucking the plebs. And if you think that 99% of the world doesn't matter, that's what you think.
That's going to be your problem.
But I think even the 1%, it's a lot of people that are pissed. I don't think I want to, unless you have another planet.
You need a mechanism to distribute.
This is a landmass we don't know of that you can go to. I think people are going to find your ass.
Right. This is the thing that's annoying. It's like you can't just fucking say that. Yeah. And that's what they're saying. That's what these Maxis. That's why he's on Twitter. That's what he's doing, saying this shit on Twitter. And I'll tell you now, like this account, it will live to rule the day. Because if you are here audaciously, as it is in Latin, I don't even know the English word, like overconfidently sitting here on Twitter saying about how badass your system's going to be, and then you happen to become really rich off it, and then you sit there saying, you plebs didn't get rich because you didn't listen to what I was saying. And you're still going to have a problem, bro. You're going to have to distribute that Bitcoin really fucking well. I don't know how you're going to do it, though, because you can't do it in micro payments on the base layer because the fees are too high. Yeah. And so you're going to have to rely on the layer 2 where everyone's KYC.
And maybe layer 2
that's a
doesn't
slavery
fucking
system.
let you to
That's
send
the
to a
CBDC.
certain jurisdiction because of a war.
Yeah, so you guys have got a serious. You're putting yourselves in a serious fucking checkmate situation, in my opinion. These Bitcoin maxis, I really believe you have to have a non-KYCable stable coin that's distributed from the base layer with 0 fees. That's what you need.
You need a fucking dollar that's. You need a super dollar. You need a dollar that can go everywhere. That can't be seized.
It's not government controlled,
and you can earn it, and you can earn it in a dignified manner. Not fucking stripping naked, not doing crazy shit. I'm talking about in a fucking dignified manner.
Right.
By increasing network adoption.
You have to earn it. It can't be donated. It can't be enshrined to you by some Bitcoin maxi that's been sitting on Twitter for 15 years talking about how wonderful it is a Bitcoin maxi. That's going to get you nowhere but in fucking trouble. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because he's going to hate us for criticizing him like this, but we're trying to do you a fucking favor here.
Yeah, wake up,
you know?
bro.
Wake up, bro. Because this isn't going to go, it's not going to end well, you know? So he says here, Bitcoiners, like no coiners, hating crypto. I mean, yeah. There's no coiners out there that
we
that,
fucking hate
like,
you all.
No, I don't hate these people. I don't hate these people. They're very misguided.
I dislike a lot of them.
I mean, they're great. It's great content. It's great content. That's for sure.
Because you could be helping. I feel like I'm dragging your limp fucking body to fucking freedom. Like it's like, God, you're like a sack of potatoes. You know, it's like you're a fucking sack of goddamn potatoes. I don't need to be holding. You know, it's like you could be fucking helping, man.
Yeah.
Instead of your 7 tweets
you could be
a goddamn
distributing
day about Bitcoin going up and how no one else in the world is going to be able to benefit. Only a select few. They ran it. I could be talking out of my ass, but you ran it in El Salvador and they all fucking sold, man. Like, you know that they can't hold on to this.
Right.
So the answer is uncensorable dollars, period. That's the first. Get there first. Let people actually be able to
get
store.
there. You got to get there quick, bro, because this isn't gonna. It's not gonna end well. You know, like these Bitcoiners sitting on Twitter bragging about how they got into Bitcoin and hating on everyone else. You know,
if it was like, man, Bitcoin, it's like, this is how I look at Bitcoin. It's like, all right, man, if I'm being optimistic, I'm like, all right, dude, we got this fucking liquidity layer, man. Like, we got a chance to build a system now because we don't have to interact with the dollar system, like the fiat dollar system. We can actually build a system and exit liquidity and then get in any currency we want. You know, it's like, you know, Bitcoin's a machine. It's a monster. We know what it is. We know it's for the rich, and it's going to, and a lot of the people are going to be on controlled things. But from a, like, fucking build another system type point of view, you're very thankful to have Bitcoin because you have a way to exit. Right, because if we didn't have Bitcoin, we have to, like, no other way to exit out. It's like we'd have to have Chase Bank or some fucking centralized exchange or somebody accept us. We're at the mercy of acceptance. Never be at the mercy of acceptance in anything in your life, ever. You're doing something wrong in life if you're at the mercy of acceptance. And if you are currently in the mercy of acceptance, you do everything in your power.
What do you mean by the mercy? What do you mean by the mercy of acceptance?
Mercy of acceptance means, am I allowed to send this money or not? That would be the mercy of acceptance.
So you mean from the bankers allowing you to send money on the KYC layer?
Exactly. You don't allow yourself to ever be on that layer. So we are not at the mercy of acceptance from exchanges. Meaning, if they don't accept us, we don't control our fate. Right? Now, if you're in a situation where you know you're in that, you're born into it, you're doing everything you can every day to get out of it. You know you're in it, but you're getting out of it. Right? You're not just staying in it. Bitcoin allows us to have dignified liquidity. We don't have to go beg a fucking exchange. We can just exit the Bitcoin and exit to a fucking... But the thing is, once I exit the Bitcoin, I exit to centralization. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I have to pay bills. I have taxes. You know, I still live in this world. I'm practical. And so I have to go into a Lightning Network node. But at least I know with my Bitcoin on Lightning Network, I can get whatever pesos or fiat or whatever the fuck I need, right? So it's dignified liquidity for us. That's what you look for. But if you're only looking at it from that layer and not building a new world, you're crazy. You're out of there. Like, what are you thinking? It's like a boat with no land to go to. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what the strategy in your mind is. Few people get rich. Everyone else isn't. Everyone else on centralized layer. Like, you're not building a new world. You're not like saying, dude, there's a lot of work to do. You're just sitting back, number go up. That's it? You just think it's that easy? You think freedom's ever that easy? You know how many people fought fucking tooth and nail, lost lives, and you think you're going to get your freedom by just sitting on your ass and holding Bitcoin? It's crazy.
I'll tell you what else as well. Something else that I think is really important is where we go, wherever our token is distributed, and when I say it's our token, it's just we're just users on the network. It's not our token. But wherever we go, where we distribute the tokens that we use, because of the distribution mechanisms that are inherited, we have to vote to distribute those tokens via inflation. There are thousands of people who shake your hand everywhere you go because you're distributing tokens to them every day for value. They provide value to the community votes, tokens get distributed. And if you're a major distributor because you're a big whale in the ecosystem, then you're loved wherever you go. Okay, not everywhere, you can't agree with everyone, but in places like Venezuela, Philippines, Indonesia, Ghana, Nigeria, Cuba, we can go to those places and we've helped thousands of people for doing dignified things for the community that then receive value in return, right? That's the key. That's the key to greatness, right? Bitcoin maxis are not doing that. You can't do that with your protocol. All you can do is hodl. You're not going to distribute to thousands of people. So as a result, you create an ever-increasing, more rich, higher class that moves further and further away from the lower class. And the lower class is going to end up despising you unless you have fair systems to distribute that token back to the lower class. But how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that with high base layer fees? You can't do it.
And the beauty of giving away free dollars and people loving you for giving them free dollars or the opportunity to earn the dollars in a dignified manner is the dollar's value is dependent on the network effect. So if the network effect is grown through literal love, where people are like, I like you a lot, you've helped me. That's how the network is grown. It's through fucking abundance and people feeling like they have opportunity and they can raise in the ranks. It's a ladder of hope. So that's the only way to do it. You have to think of everyone else. I know there's shortcuts and you're like, fuck these people and it'd be a lot easier. Your layer one smart contracts, your lazy, sloppy bullshit. That's not what it's about, man. It's the long route. Everyone's on board, right? We got to give everyone a chance. It's just how it is. And, you can't forget about everyone because it's going to come back to haunt you. Even if you're a greedy asshole, it's shitty. It's a shitty outcome. So, whether you're a greedy asshole or not, this is the only way to do it and, have a nice life. Right? We can't have two classes. We can't have two classes.
And your children as well.
I don't believe in a two-class system. Never will.
No. But that's ultimately where Bitcoin maxis are starting to tend towards. That's what this type of attitude is.
High fees, no middle class. No ability to give, middle class. No ability to earn a dignified way, no middle class. You're just creating a two-class system.
Yeah. All right, at that, let's end it. Good one. I hope Richard sees this and takes it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. But heed this advice, bro. Heed this advice. You're not heeding it. You're a high ego, highly strung Bitcoin maxi, basically saying fuck everyone else for not buying Bitcoin, it's the most stupid strategy you can take. You got to figure out how you're going to distribute that thing. Otherwise, it's going to come back and bite you at some point. All right. Peace out.
Later.